Yeah, lower the volume. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Oh, it's from my end. Okay, I'll do that. See, it's revving up. You don't know, is what I'm saying. They literally are delusional. They think. So we have a KitchenAid, and we're doing the Icemaker fan. Now, you can see in the previous section where the fan was running with the doors open. But when you close the doors, the fan would intermittently works. Sometimes it would be off. Most of the times it would be off. So you end up with ice melting, slow ice production, and it's very hard to diagnose because you put the fridge in diagnostic and it depends on the time it will work. The fan will run and you will not get an error message. So you need to press both the door switches or close one side. I say close the right side, and then you're closer to the ice maker side, and then you just press that button. Put maybe a feather or super light tissue over the fan where the ice maker blows, and you should see or feel air coming out of it. Now, you do have a suction, which is to the left, and that should also be sucking. So we already took the assembly out. I will link another video actually on this particular unit. These videos were probably, 5-6 months apart, and where I resetted the ice maker. So right now we're taking the ice maker assembly. The ice maker lives in that assembly, and also the fan itself. So we're going to be removing this cover, and we're going to be changing the ice maker fan. So I will link the other video where it was more detailed in how I remove the light cover. I think I included that on that video. This one, it was not fully explained, but all you need to do, remove the 2 1/4-inch screws once you press and release the water filter, and then you'll see the opening for the 2 1/4-inch screws. Once you remove those, now you might need, or not might, you will need a small tip nut driver to extract those screws. If the 1/4-inch driver is too fat, it will not reach them. So be mindful of that. And once you remove those 2 screws, you push down. Sometimes you can use a small flat blade screwdriver just to get some access, and then you just push down. Just be mindful, you do have wires. And then you disconnect the light wire, or the wires to the LED. Then you just pull it out, set it to the side, and then you just work on disconnecting the wires and the water. And then all you have is pretty much two screws, 2/4 inch screws for the ice maker assembly. And then you just pull it forward. Just keep in mind, make sure everything is disconnected so that once you're ready to extract, you're not going to be hanging up and having to slide it back in. So now we got the cover off, and we're going to be disconnecting the ice maker fan. That's the old fan. That's the new fan. Pretty straightforward. Plug your connectors in. Just try and pay attention to how the wires are routed so that everything goes back the way it was. Now when it's time to install the assembly back into the refrigerator, now from here on, by the way, guys, it's pretty straightforward. You really can't mess it up. Like I said, just pay attention to how you take it apart. So if you're not fully 100% sure, just take your time. If you need to take pictures, do that, so that once you start to put things back together, you can also refer back to your photos. Nothing like putting it back just the way it was. Now, once it's time to go back in, you're going to have two slots or two, they're basically slots in the top of the fridge, and the ice maker assembly will have two tabs. So you're going to push up against the roof of the refrigerator, and then you're going to push towards the back, and that will lock it in. Now, here's a pointer. Have your screwdriver and screw ready so that as soon as it slides in and is secured, you don't want to release or leave it. But if it's fully in, you should be okay. But to be on the safe side, if you want to make sure, just have everything ready at your fingertip so that all you have to do, insert that screw to the right, and then you'll have one again to the left. Now that's your cover. That does have a little heater in there. It keeps frost and whatnot from building up. And from here on, it's just basically once you have secured the assembly, it's just getting all the wires connected. Again, take pictures and also make sure the unit is unplugged or breaker turned off. Just be mindful with the water connection. You want to make sure that you fully insert the water tube. And once it's fully inserted, you want to kind of pull on it just to make sure it's fully inserted. Now, before you remove it, you can just put a tiny mark, and that will give you a reference point to make sure that it is fully inserted back where it was. And there is a keeper that you need to snap back on once it's on. In fact, I don't think it was fully inserted, so sometimes you need to use like a small tool and you squeeze and push. So that's the keeper, that black cover. Now double check your connections, make sure everything is fully connected and inserted fully. And now it's basically time to put the light cover assembly or filter housing assembly up. Now there are two tabs that you can push up against, but before you do that, you want to look all the way to the back and you'll see two tabs basically where you're going to hang it on. They're hinges, there's three of them. And once it's done, all you do is slide it back, push it up, and then put your screws in for your filter. Close that and it's done. Now you can see it's blowing nicely. can see it sucking well. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.